Disney movies are really amazing. Today's movie focuses on the main character, Mirabel Madrigal. She is a member of the Madrigal family. Mirabel's grandma, Abuela, is the head of the family. When Abuela gave birth to 3 children, they were compelled to leave their community. When Mirabel's grandparents left the area in search of a new address, they encountered trouble, and her grandpa, Pedro, went missing forever. Mirabel's grandma discovered a special candle with incredible powers. They also found a new house called Casita that could do magical things to help the Madrigal family. Casita could open doors, fix windows, and even arrange furniture just by itself. For Abuela's 3 children, the magical candle opened 3 special doors. Each child received a unique power as a gift, and the same thing happened for their children too. So, the movie starts with Mirabel's little cousin, Antonio's gift ceremony. The day begins with lots of excitement and preparations at Casa because many people are coming over. Neighborhood kids are curious about the special abilities of Mirabel's family. Mirabel answers their questions through songs, telling them about the special qualities of her family members. For example, Luisa has super strength and can easily lift heavy things. Isabella has the power to decorate everything with beautiful flowers. Peppa, when she gets a little worried, creates a windy storm above his head. It's like a storm appears out of nowhere. Camilo can pretend to be someone else, and Dolores can know all the secret conversations within the family. As the kids continue asking questions, they eventually ask Mirabel, "What special gift do you have?" Mirabel doesn't say anything because she doesn't have a special gift. This is the first gift ceremony after Mirabel's gift ceremony, and today's celebration is all about Antonio. Everyone is excited, wondering what gift Antonio will receive. Meanwhile, Antonio is scared and hides under Mirabel's bed. Mirabel realizes this and helps him understand what's happening. She guides him to the gift ceremony. After some anticipation and excitement, Antonio finally opens his special door and receives his gift. Antonio had a love for animals and birds, so, as a gift, he receives the affection of all the animals and birds in the forest who will treat him with special warmth, understand his words, and he will understand theirs. So when everyone was enjoying the gift ceremony, Mirabel sees a surprising turn of events at their house. She sees cracks forming on the walls of the house. Even the magical candle seemed to be trembling, according to his perception. When she tells his grandmother, Abuela, about it, everyone in the family comes to witness it. But they don't see any signs of danger. Everything appears perfectly normal to them. They feel at ease and decide to continue the party. Later that night, Mirabel sneaks out and goes to see the candle near the window. She discovers that her grandmother already knew about the impending danger. Abuela had been muttering about a possible disaster and seeking help from Mirabel's grandfather, Pedro. Afterward, Mirabel becomes certain that her family is facing a Madrigal family crisis. Even their casita is in danger. She resolves to save her family from the impending danger, but doesn't know where to start. She seeks Dolores' guidance since she knows everything about their family. Dolores informs her that Luisa has been obsessively twitching her eye the whole night. The next morning, when they sit down for breakfast, Mirabel tries to ask Luisa about it, but she avoids the topic. At that moment, Abuela makes an announcement that Guzman's son, Mariano, wants to marry Isabella. So, tonight will be Isabella's engagement. Before the announcement concludes, Luisa leaves from there. Mirabel follows her, questioning her about the eye twitching. Luisa reveals that it was nothing significant and insists on maintaining her strong demeanor. At one point, Luisa lets slip that when she saw cracks on the casita's wall the previous night, she felt a sense of vulnerability within herself. She mentions that she learned about Bruno's terrible vision during their childhood. Bruno is a member of the Madrigal family, but no one knows what his vision contained. Luisa advises Mirabel to explore Bruno's tower to find out more about his vision. Mirabel goes there and finds a door made of sand. She enters through the door and finds herself inside. To ascend the tower, she climbs a spiral staircase. There, she discovers a few bright glass fragments. Collecting a few, she manages to see herself in them. At that moment, the tower begins to crumble, and she finds herself forcefully ejected from the tower. She returns home, where Luisa informs her that she cannot effortlessly lift heavy objects for some reason. Her grandmother instructs her to stay away from Luisa, at least for today, as it is the night of Isabella's engagement. Tonight, there will be an engagement ceremony between Isabella and Guzman's family's son, Mariano. When Mirabel was carefully examining the pieces of glass, she wondered what could be the meaning if Bruno has a vision about someone. At that moment, Peppa came there and hears Bruno's name. She told Mirabel not to talk about Bruno. However, Mirabel asks Peppa the same question again, but Peppa doesn't want to answer. Afterward, her husband comes there and says the same thing, that we shouldn't talk about Bruno because if Bruno gives anyone a vision, it comes true. Bruno gives a vision about one person that their belly will grow, and so it happens. And he gives a vision about another person that their head will become bald. And that's exactly what happened in the end. Then Mirabel goes to her room, gathers all the pieces of glass, and sees herself in them. She catches a glimpse of the cracked house behind her. That was Bruno's vision. At that time, her father comes and sees all the gathered pieces of glass. Although her father tried to keep everything secret, Dolores heard everything. On that night, at the engagement ceremony, Mariano and her grandma come to Casita. Madrigal family members wished for a successful ceremony. No one in the Guzman family should know the danger that is coming upon them. Dolores couldn't keep the secret about Bruno's vision. Mirabel keeps staring in awe as if she can't say anything. But someone passes a bowl in front of Mirabel's gaze. In this opportunity, Dolores tells Camilo about Bruno's vision. Then Camilo tells Felix, and Felix tells Peppa. That's how the secret is no longer concealed. At that moment, Mirabel sees a crack in the floor under the table. Mariano asks Mirabel if something is wrong. Mirabel's father replies that nothing much, Mirabel is just excited. Then asks Mariano to propose to Isabella. But Mariano's grandmother asks him to sing a song before the proposal. For this, she asks Luisa to bring the piano forward. So, Luisa goes to bring the piano. Meanwhile, Mirabel made Mariano kneel down to propose. Luisa couldn't effortlessly lift the piano as she used to. Luisa cries. Mariano almost proposes to Isabella when rats find the fragments of glass from Mirabel's bag, one by one, to arrange them in succession. When the arrangement is complete, signs of danger emerge. Mariano's grandmother, alarmed, asks what is happening. Dolores cries out, saying, Mirabel has discovered Bruno's vision. She will destroy all our magic and everything will come to an end. Mariano's proposal is not concluded. Mariano and his grandmother leave the Madrigal's house. The entire Madrigal family blames Mirabel. At that moment, Mirabel's neighbors arrive and witness everything. Abuela tells them, the magic is still strong. We are Madrigals. Meanwhile, Mirabel finds the mice hiding behind a picture hanging on the wall with pieces of glass. Mirabel looks at the picture with her hand and it is actually a door. It is actually the door to a secret chamber inside their house. She opens the door, saw Bruno there. Bruno runs away, followed by Mirabel. Mirabel cannot cross the broken path. Meanwhile, Bruno goes into hiding. Mirabel jumps to cross the broken road, but she can't cross and instead hangs on a branch. She screams for help. Bruno extends his hand to save her, but it is Bruno who falls instead. Mirabel becomes frightened upon seeing Bruno's rats and lets go of his hand. Bruno leaves determinedly. Mirabel stops him and asks, why did you take that vision? What does it mean? Did you come back just for this? Bruno tells her, you were never supposed to see that vision. No one was. Mirabel discovers that Bruno actually lives next door to the Madrigal family's dining room. Mirabel understands that Bruno misses his family deeply. Bruno tells her he has to go, but Mirabel refuses to let him. She asks why she was in his vision. Bruno reveals that on the night of her gift ceremony, when she didn't get the gift, he had this vision. Abuela was concerned, so she asked him to see the future of the Madrigal family. Bruno sees their magic and home in danger. Then he sees Mirabel there, but there was no clear answer. Mirabel's future was uncertain. Bruno tells her that the whole family could depend on her with this magic. Bruno tells her, I'll help you as much as I can. I've told you everything I know. Bruno tells her, wish I could have seen more. It would have been nice if I could see more about the future. Mirabel tells him, then see more. Have another vision for me. Bruno says, I don't do visions anymore. Mirabel requests him because they might get an idea about what to do next from the vision. Bruno says, but to see visions, I need my big open space, which you have wrecked. At that moment, Antonio comes there and says, then use my room. The rats have told me everything. They go to Bruno's room to try to see visions. For that, Bruno holds Mirabel's hand and does some rituals. They see visions as before. Everything in today's vision was as like as before. Bruno wants to stop, but Mirabel says she needs one answer, one clue. Then they see a butterfly and the candle gets brighter with its touch. After a while, they see Mirabel hugging someone, but they can't understand who she is hugging. In a moment, it becomes clear between the two that Mirabel is actually hugging Isabella. To make the candle brighter, you have to embrace her, Bruno explains. Mirabel is surprised because Isabella doesn't like her, hates her, and yet she is embracing her. Mirabel asks Bruno why she would hug her. He will never hug her. Bruno explains to Mirabel that she is missing a point. Our family's fate does not depend on Isabella, but rather on you. So, it's up to you to do what needs to be done. Bruno leaves and tells Mirabel that when she saves the magic, she should be able to see him. Mirabel says she'll take him back home first. Mirabel goes to Isabella's room and tells her that even though they have their differences, she still wants to be a good sister to her, so we should just hug. But Isabella tells her, have you lost your mind? Did you know Mariano's nose is looking like a smashed papaya? Isabella tells her to get out. Isabella says if you want to be a good sister then apologize for ruining my life. Mirabel doesn't apologize, instead calls her selfish. I didn't ruin your life. Then a cactus was born between Mirabel and Isabella. Mirabel asks Isabella to come forward. After that, they talk about all the problems between the two. Realizing their mistake, Isabella and Mirabel hug each other, causing their candles to grow brighter. But then their grandmother Abuela comes and blames Mirabel. Says that Luisa is getting weak for you. Isabella's proposal is ruined for you. She is out of control. Bruno without a home for you. Mirabel replies that no matter how hard I try I will never be enough for you. Will I ever be enough? We can never be enough for you. Luisa will never be strong enough, and Issa will never be perfect enough. Bruno left home because you only see the bad in him. Grandma says Bruno doesn't care about the family. Mirabel says Bruno does take care of the family. We all take care of the family. Rather, you don't take care of the family. Mirabel says, you are breaking our home. The miracle is dying because of you. Then a crack appears between them. The whole house shakes. The candle started to fade. Everyone tries to reach the candle. No one can because everyone's special powers keep running out. Mirabel walks over to the candle. The rest are forced to leave the house because Casita makes them leave. Mirabel catches the candle and comes down. But already the roof of the house collapsed. Casita still helps Mirabel. But Mirabel can't stop the candle from going out. It goes off. In an instant, their house was destroyed. Everyone couldn't believe it. Everyone was wondering what will happen to us now. Our magic is over. Mirabel's mother approaches her. She says, stay here, I am coming. But Mirabel got out of there. Her mother came and saw that she was not there. Everyone goes out to find her. She was sitting by a river. Abuela found her there. Abuela tells her that this is the river where she lost Mirabel's grandfather forever. She tells her past memories, how they fell in love, got married, and became parents to 3 children. How one night their area was attacked by robbers and they were forced to leave their homes. The robbers then chased them and attacked them. Mirabel's grandpa, Pedro, saves them at the cost of his own life. And that's where Abuela found the magic candle. Abuela blames herself for today's situation. She says everything is broken because of me. She said we are broken because of me. Mirabel finds the butterfly there that was in the vision. Mirabel reassures her grandma that we've been family for so long because of you. And nothing will ever break that we can't fix together. Then Bruno comes in and says Mirabel didn't do it. I gave her a vision. Meanwhile, Abuela hugs Bruno. Mirabel takes Abuela and Bruno on horseback and heads home. When she came home, his mother hugged her. Now everyone is wondering where they will live if they don't have a home. Mirabel reassures them. Say you are more than your gift. It's not magic, it's you. Then all the people of their town come to help them build a new house. Everyone helps them. They built a new house in a few days. Everyone stands in front of the front door of the new house for the housewarming ceremony. But there was no knob on the front door. Together they made a knob for Mirabel. Antonio hands her the knob and tells her to turn it and open the door. And as Mirabel turns the knob on the door, the whole house lights up with new magic. A wave of happiness flows in the whole town. Their house is back to normal as before, and a window welcomes them to enter. Everyone is back to normal. They regain their amazing powers. This time they are happier than before. And finally, they took a family photo in which Mirabel and Bruno were all. So this was the story of our movie Encanto today. Thanks guys for taking so long to hear our story. I will come back again with such a wonderful story